Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I just wanted to make a quick video on the Jeep here, and if I made the right decision buying the Jeep SRT. So we're going to get in the vehicle, sit down, have a little chat on it, and see if I made the right decision. All right, so we're sitting in the Jeep, and I figured this was the perfect place to have a little discussion on my decision about the SRT and if I made the right decision. So when I was buying this vehicle, I had to weigh out some pros and cons of if I were going to keep the truck, if I was going to sell it, and what I was going to get when I did replace it. So originally, and I've been saying this for a long time, I wanted to buy a TRX. The problem with the TRX is that if I were to wait another year on my truck, I would have depreciated it to the point where it was only worth, I sold it for $30,000. Let's just get that out of the way. But if I would have drove it for another year and depreciated it for another year, I probably would have had around $12,000 left to pay on the vehicle, $11,000 somewhere in there, and the vehicle maybe would have been worth $25,000-ish. Of course, I owed $18,000 on it. I sold it for $30,000. I walked away with $12,000 on top of the sale. So I just used that money essentially to refinance this Jeep after I bought it, which was very nice, which was very, very nice. And of course, I thought to myself, well, I don't know if I want to go into debt even more, than I already am with the truck. But I thought to myself, well, wait a second here. They're not making these vehicles anymore. They're not making the 6.4 liter Hemi V8. We don't even know what's going on with Dodge and Chrysler as a whole, if they're even going to be around. So I thought, well, listen, I'm 27. I don't have a lot of, I have a lot of time left, but I don't have a lot of time left buying these vehicles. I may as well just buy one, experience it, and essentially see how ownership goes on it and make a few videos about it as well. But essentially, if you guys watch the channel, if not, no big deal. I own a golf course, so I do a lot of work with my truck, especially in the fall, winter, and spring. So I'm essentially needing to replace the truck with this vehicle, and luckily I do have a 16-foot trailer that I can tow my equipment with, but I'm essentially going to test this vehicle to see how it does replacing the truck with everyday tasks. And if it weren't for that trailer, I wouldn't be able to buy it because I can't, I don't have a bed in this Jeep. It doesn't come with a bed. So I essentially needed something that I could put brick in there, or sand, or dirt, anything like that, I used to be able to put in the truck. And I also needed to make sure that this vehicle could tow. So it tows up to 7,200 pounds. The heaviest thing I tow is my ski boat. I have a Sport Nautique, a 2000 Sport Nautique. And that weighs, with trailer and boat, that's probably about a 5,500 pound load. So it does weigh a fair amount. Compared to anything else that I were to tow with that 16-foot trailer. Now, I do a lot of snowmobiling too, so I need to make sure I have something that I could tow with that. Now, the only problem I run into is that I bring an extra seat and I bring some other stuff, so I will have to fold down the rear seats, which is okay. That's why you have a Jeep, but I will have to fold down the rear seats in order to make everything fit, so I'm really curious to see how that is going to work as well. Now, why I didn't buy a TRX? Well, a TRX essentially was too much money, and even on the low end was something that had 45,000 miles on it. I was going to pay $65,000 to $70,000. That would mean after I sold my truck and I paid sales tax out of my own pocket. So let's just forget about that. But even if I did that with the TRX, I would still be taking out, let's just say, about a $70,000 truck, which is just astronomical. My loan would still be $58,000 on it. That is well over $1,000 per month. That's just too expensive of a vehicle for me to afford comfortably. That's ridiculous to pay for a vehicle. So I settled with this Jeep. It was $50,000. Of course, this is like 1 in 300-ish 2016 SRT night editions. In this black color, there was 1,600 made. There was about 300 made in the black. I think this is probably the lowest example left in the whole world in terms of the SRT night edition. So I found it on Brand Trailer. I couldn't turn it down. I couldn't turn it down. And my truck is great. My truck was awesome. I love that vehicle. It did everything I wanted it to. It was great. It had the 5.7 liter Hemi. The color was beautiful. I had fuel rims on it. I had a Gibson exhaust, cold air intake. It was just phenomenal. But the issue being it had 80,000 miles on it. So I needed to, get something at some point. And I wasn't trusting that e-torque system that had it too much, and I wanted to go something that was a lot faster, and that as a substantial daily driver, I mean, I don't know, I'll probably put about 5,000 miles on this vehicle a year, as something that, I'll put the miles on. I wanted it to be fun, and I wanted it to be engaging to drive, and this Jeep was the second best answer to that, unless it was going to be a Durango SRT, but my parents already have the RT Tow and Go, so I couldn't get the same vehicle that they have. So I had to settle with the Jeep, but I am just very enthusiastic about the Jeep so far. I'm actually impressed. This has the Laguna leather package, so all the material in here is updated. When I had my 2017 Ram 1500 Night Edition before I bought my red truck, the interior, as a top trim, it was really nice, but it still was it was hard plastics, and the leather wasn't like true leather. But this being the Laguna leather package, every touch point on here that has some sort of leather or faux leather surface is soft. It's soft, and it is actually very nice. The seats these are the most comfortable seats I've ever sat in any of the Mercedes that I've owned, in any of the Mopar vehicles I've owned. These are the most comfortable seats. In any of the Ram trucks I've owned, by far the most comfortable seats I've owned. The driving experience, I haven't put a lot of miles on this. I didn't drive my truck very much in the summer, and I won't drive this very much in the summer, maybe once a week or once every couple weeks. The miles that I have put on it, though, have been awesome. It's super fast, super engaging to drive. I do have to throw an exhaust on it and a cold air intake, which is a must. But other than that, it's just a real beast of a vehicle to drive. I'm curious to see how it's going to do in the wintertime pulling my sleds, how it's going to do pulling the boat. It shouldn't really have a problem with the boat at all. This has the same max tow rating as my girlfriend's GLE 43 does, and that tows it, no problem. I just expect this to be even a little bit of a more firm ride. But overall, just everything is so nice. The Alcantara headliner is very high quality. Goodness gracious, it's soft to the touch. It looks very premium. The steering wheel in here is great. The 8.4-inch Uconnect system, something that I'm very familiar with, even though my last truck didn't have it. It had the Uconnect 5. This system is fantastic. I love it. It's snappy. It's quick. Doesn't have CarPlay, but I didn't use CarPlay in my truck anyway, so no big deal for me there. It's very similar to everything that I liked in my 2017 Night Edition Ram that I had, except it's just a lot faster and it's a lot more engaging to drive. But overall, I have to say I'm very happy. I'm glad I made this decision. I'm glad, if this had 30 or 40,000 miles on it, I may have not did it. But being probably the lowest example left on planet Earth, I have to say I'm thoroughly impressed with it, guys. I'm so glad I made this decision, and I know it was the right decision, and I'm okay taking out the debt, taking out the loan, the note on the vehicle. That's fine with me. And you'll just pay it down, and this has such low mileage. When I get done paying off the vehicle, I'll be able to keep this vehicle and drive it. And if I want to get a truck, then I could get a truck. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be a nice truck either. Just to have this vehicle as a collector's is fantastic. With everything going on right now with Stellantis, it just, you don't know what's going to happen with the company, so you need to take a chance on a vehicle like this that you're probably never going to ever see again. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. This was a great purchase. Glad I did it. As I continue to drive the vehicle, I'll have more updates on it as I continue to put the miles on it, towing, winter performance, summer performance, everything. I'll definitely have more updates on it. So if you like the content, like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.